this down. The weight you feel is not a sign you should quit. It is proof you are carrying something valuable. Say it with me. Weight means worth. The desire to walk away is not always rebellion. Many times it is the evidence that you have actually been responsible. Irresponsible people don't feel pressure. They feel boredom. Pressure comes to those who pick up what matters. Let me name it. Because we have learned to smile while we suffocate. You can love God, love people, and still feel emotionally bankrupt. You can pray in tongues, preach with fire, and still go home wondering if anyone sees you bleeding. You can be applauded on Sunday and feel abandoned by Monday afternoon. Write this down. Emotions are real, but they are not your leader. Don't interpret your feelings as instructions. They are indicators, not dictators. Pressure is a compliment. Nobody secures garbage with a vault door. They put steel around treasure. No one puts weight on what is empty. Weight comes where there is purpose, consequence, and assignment. The airplane is pressurized because it is operating at altitude. If there's pressure around you, it's because you've been lifted to a level where atmosphere demands integrity. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. They sink when the water gets in them. So our agenda tonight is simple. Keep the water out. Keep the altitude. And thank God for the cabin pressure. It proves you are not on the ground anymore. Hear me. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Say it with me. I am an assignment. You are not a volunteer in God's agenda. You are a sent person. Sent ones carry weight because heaven does not consign light cargo to ambassadors. Assignment is identity before it is activity. This means your title can change, your schedule can shift, and your paycheck can fluctuate, but your assignment remains who you are. If they move you, your assignment moves with you. If they don't recognize you, your assignment still recognizes you. This is not a pep talk. This is training. We are going to recalibrate your leadership mindset, vision, toleration, and deployment. Write it down. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. We will interrogate the belief system that's negotiating with your burden. We will locate where your vision is leaking, expose what you've been tolerating, and redeploy you from employment to assignment. Vision is more important than leadership, because without destination, energy has no meaning, and whatever you tolerate, you will never change. So settle your heart. Your heaviness is not a verdict of failure. It is a receipt of value. The pressure is the price tag on purpose. You are not a mistake searching for a task. You are an assignment, rediscovering clarity. Write this down and keep it near your pillow. I will not quit my post before I remember who sent me. Say it with me. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Again, say it like you're informing your future. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Write this down. Identity precedes activity. Nature dictates function. Design determines destiny. Until you know who you are, everything you do becomes negotiation with people's expectations and your own moods. Genesis 1:26 is your birth certificate. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. That is not religion. That is blueprint. In Hebrew, the word for dominion, rad, means to rule, to govern, to manage as a responsible steward. And man, there is a species word, Adam, meaning humanity as a class, not a religious subgroup. Image is character. Likeness is function. Dominion is assignment. Leadership is not a title you chase. It is a design you discover. Write this down. You were created to lead and designed to dominate in your domain. Now hear me. Your personality is not your purpose. Your temperament is not your truth. Feelings fluctuate. Assignment remains. Emotions are weather. Identity is climate. The problem is we keep reading our mood like a map. You wake up tired and you conclude, I'm done. No, you are not done. You are distracted. When you remember your identity, you stop interpreting your emotions as instructions. Let me expose a trap. Fatigue becomes fatal when you attach identity to outcomes. If your who is married to applause, your soul becomes a slave to results. Numbers go up, you feel worthy. Numbers go down, you feel worthless. That is not leadership. That is bondage. Jesus did not trust crowds Do not build your confidence on clapping hands. Write this down. Crowds are inconsistent. Calling is constant. If your heart is a thermometer, it will always read the room. Make it a thermostat set by your source, not the season. True leadership is self-discovery. Until you are introduced to yourself, you will resent what you are called to carry. You will look at the load designed to reveal your capacity and call it cruelty. You will misname your cross as punishment instead of purpose. Hear me. Identity answers the who, and the who stabilizes the how. When the who is settled, you can endure misunderstanding, delay, and even betrayal. Because your assignment is not up for debate. Say it with me again. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. What did I say? Write this down. Your emotions are indicators, not navigators. They tell you there is weather. They don't decide your route. The image of God in you is your compass. The likeness of God is your capacity. Dominion is your commission. Anchor there, and the storm can howl, but it cannot hijack. You are not here to match your mood. You are here to manifest your mandate. Write this down. The quit feeling has a name. Burnout is often vision leakage, not lack of love. Most leaders don't quit because they stop caring. They quit because they stop seeing. Say it with me. I'm not loveless. I'm low on vision. What did I say? When the destination blurs, even small hills feel like mountains. When the where is foggy, the how becomes heavy. Leadership is movement, but vision is direction. That's why vision is more important than leadership. Movement without direction is exhaustion with applause. Jesus said, if the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch. Write this down. Blindness doesn't stop movement. It just guarantees collisions. You can be busy and still be lost. You can be applauded and still be off course. You can be efficient at the wrong thing and still end up in the ditch just faster. Sight governs stride. If your eyes are dim, your steps become dangerous. Speed without sight is suicide. Energy without clarity is cruelty to your soul. Where does vision leak? Let me name the holes. Number one, people pleasing. When you give your eyes to the crowd, you forfeit your lens to your calling. Crowds are inconsistent. Calling is constant. If your daily decisions are built on who you don't want to disappoint, you will always betray your destiny. Number two, crisis management as a lifestyle. Emergencies make terrible bosses. Some of you have baptized chaos and called it leadership. Write this down. Reacting is not leading. Firefighting is not future building. Number three, a reactive schedule. Your calendar is your creed. If everything can book you, anything can break you. The urgent will always kidnap the important if you don't establish borders. Number four, confusion between what's urgent and what's assigned. Not every good thing is your thing. A need is not a call. If the devil can't make you bad, he'll make you busy. Let me prove it with Jesus. They begged him to stay after miracles. He said, I must go to the other towns also, for this is why I came. That's vision talking. Assignment decided his itinerary. Write this down. Vision says no more than it says yes. Your stamina is being bled out by unauthorized yeses. Your fatigue is not proof you're weak, it's proof you're leaking. Hear the tough love. A vacation cannot fix a vision problem. Sleep won't heal confusion. Rest multiplies what you are if you are clear. Rest magnifies clarity. If you are scattered, rest magnifies scatter. Before you try to rest, restore vision. Say it with me. Don't refill me to run the wrong race. What did I say? You don't need a pillow first. You need a picture. You don't need fewer hours. You need a sharper why. Once you see again, the same road looks shorter. The same team looks stronger. And the same weight feels lighter because destination dignifies every step. Write this down. When vision returns, the next step is to restructure the load. Let me ask you a question I ask in every nation. In a car engine, who is the leader? Don't answer too fast. The piston, the crankshaft, the spark plug, who is the leader? Here is the answer. No one and everyone. Say it with me. No one and everyone. Every part is the leader in its function. Importance is contextual. Significance is functional. You remove a $4 terminal, wire, and the Mercedes becomes lawn furniture. A $4 piece can shut the whole system down. Why? Because leadership is not rank, leadership is role, not position, function. Write this down. You feel like quitting when you try to carry the whole engine. Some of you aren't leading, you are acting like the entire nervous system. You are the alternator on Monday, the battery on Tuesday, the fuel pump on Wednesday, the ECU on Thursday, and the spark on Friday. No wonder you dread Sunday. You call it faithfulness, heaven calls it malfunction. You baptize control and name it care. But control is not leadership, clarity is. Let me confront you with love. The martyr mindset is killing you and crippling your team. If I don't touch it, it won't happen. That is not humility. That is unbelief in disguise. You don't trust the parts. You don't believe in the gift you hired. You pray for help, then you parent adults. You ask for a team, then you become their oxygen. Write this down. When you become everyone's air, you suffocate the ecosystem. Development requires distance. Growth needs room. Look at Jesus. He broke the bread, then he gave it to the disciples, and the disciples gave it to the people. He didn't run every basket through his hands after the miracle. He sent 70 out in pairs. He decentralized activity while centralizing assignment. That is functional leadership source at the center, distribution at the edges. Misalignment creates overload. When the alternator is trying to be a battery, the system dies early. When the spark plug is bathing in oil, you've got smoke, not speed. Write this down. Fatigue is often friction from confused roles. You are tired because your yes is in the wrong place. You're trying to be fire and fuel producer and provider because you don't trust the pipeline. Stop it. Stop carrying what was never yours to carry. So what is the solution? Not work harder, pray longer, or run faster. The solution is assign correctly, restore function, not heroism. Say with me. Restore function. Your job as a leader is to protect the ecosystem of purpose. Define the parts, empower the parts, supply the parts, then get out of their way. Write this down. Don't do what you can delegate. Don't delegate what must be designed. And don't design what God already decided. Establish decision rights. Clarify outcomes, not just tasks. Measure fruit, not activity. Train the person, not just the position. If the part doesn't fit, don't force it. Either reshape, relocate, or replace. But do not rescue dysfunction with your body. Repeat out loud. I am not the whole engine. I lead my function and empower the rest. What did I say? When you align roles with design, the same mission moves with less strain. The car goes farther on the same fuel because friction is gone. Your quit feeling begins to fade, not because the road changed, but because the engine finally did what it was built to do. Write this down. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Say it with me. Whatever I tolerate, I will never change. Leadership is born when toleration ends. The quickest way to recover leadership stamina is to stop tolerating what God didn't assign. You are not tired of purpose. You are tired of permitting what fights your purpose. Fatigue is multiplied by consent. You are financing your own frustration with your silence. Let me name the tolerations that are draining you. Disrespect people who roll their eyes at decisions you bled to make and you laugh it off. Chronic lateness meetings that start 15 minutes after the hour because you being gracious, and now excellence has learned to wait on negligence. Disorganization, you call it creativity, but it is rebellion against order, and order is the womb of speed. Dishonor the casual mocking of leaders and teammates dressed up as humor, yet eroding the culture you pray for. Moral compromise. Tiny tolerated termites. The half-truth in the report. The private message you know has intent. The purity line you keep moving. Emotional manipulation. Tears used as weapons. Anger used as leverage. The silent treatment used to steer decisions. Write this down. What you permit, you promote. What you normalize, you legalize. I love prayer. I pray without ceasing. But hear me with both ears. Prayer is not a substitute for responsibility. Some things change when you decide, not just when you cry. Some yokes break under policy, not just under preaching. You are fasting for a problem your calendar could fix and your mouth could confront. Stop asking God to deliver you from people he told you to correct. Stop rebuking devils you keep allowing to book appointments. Write this down. Heaven funds conviction, not cowardice. Faith without works is fantasy. Rosa Parks didn't get a fresh prophecy. She made a fresh decision. She refused to normalize what God never authorized. She sat down and stood up a movement. That's leadership. It is the refusal to keep breathing in secondhand smoke and calling it air. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends. What did I say? When you stop tolerating, you start transforming. Look at Jesus. He didn't negotiate with the money changers. He cleansed the temple. That wasn't anger. That was assignment, protecting environment. Nehemiah shut the gates on Sabbath breakers. He didn't hold a symposium about alternative market hours. Paul confronted Peter to his face when compromise infected clarity. Write this down. Toleration is not love. It is consent to dysfunction. Love has a backbone. Grace has a gate. So boundaries, establish them today. Set start times and keep them. Define, honor, and enforce it. Clarify roles and refuse triangle conversations. Schedule access. Don't sell your soul to interruptions. Document standards. Attach consequences. No is holy when it protects purpose. Say it with me. I love you, but no. My assignment is not available for abuse. The moment you end toleration, you recover oxygen. Stamina returns where standards return. Your heart will stop hemorrhaging the minute your mouth stops apologizing for your mandate. Stop permitting what God didn't assign and watch your strength rise like it never left. Write this down. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Say it with me. My job is what they pay me to do. My work is what I was born to do. What did I say? Listen with your spirit. You are not exhausted because you hate people. You are exhausted because you are employed, not deployed. You are keeping a role alive while your gift is suffocating. Activity without gifting is expensive. It costs energy, creativity, and joy. It empties the tank faster than purpose can fill it. Your job is temporary. Your work is permanent. Your job is a position. Your work is a disposition. Your job is your skill. Your work is your gift. They can suspend your job. They cannot suspend your work. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. That means your source is not the payroll. Your source is the manufacturer who hid a solution inside you and sent you to earth to deliver it. Write this down. You are not on salary. You are on assignment. Let me diagnose the burnout. Many of you are faithful in a role, but absent from your gift. You are maintaining an identity, your title invented, performing for approval rather than producing fruit from design. Titles can be prisons. They make you protect an image while you neglect your essence. You become a caretaker of expectations instead of a cultivator of value. That's why you're tired. You're pushing a costume up a hill. Hear me. Fruit, not titles, authenticates leadership. Jesus said, you will know a tree by its fruit, not by the sign on the tree. Write this down. Deployment measures leadership, not decoration. What is your work? Your work is the deployment of your God-given gift to solve a problem for humanity. Your gift is that thing you do with unusual ease and consistent effect. The thing that feeds you while it feeds others. The thing that refuses to retire when the clock says time's up. When you serve your gift, time accelerates, joy returns, and momentum multiplies. Energy follows assignment. The yoke becomes easy, not because the load disappears, but because the harness finally fits your neck. Say it with me. My gift is my lane. My fruit is my proof. Leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders. Why? Because fruit attracts. When you redeploy into your gift, support appears that ignored you when you were impersonating a role. Resources find relevance. Partners recognize value. Even criticism gets quieter because results argue louder than opinions. Write this down. Deployment clarifies who belongs with you and who was only with your title. Stop negotiating with boredom. Stop baptizing misery and calling it sacrifice. Heaven is not paying you to be impressive. Heaven sent you to be effective. Schedule your gift. Architect your week around your work, not around everyone else's emergencies. Build your role around your gift, not your gift around your role. If the job cannot host your work, redesign the job or be courageous enough to move where your work can breathe. Say it with me. I am not merely employed, I am deployed. My job is a channel. My work is my calling. What did I say? You recover endurance when you stop maintaining a role and start expressing your God-given gift. The moment you return to your work, strength returns to you. Joy returns. Clarity returns. And the same road that felt impossible starts to feel inevitable because now your life is carrying what it was born to carry. Write this down. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. Say it with me. Leadership is 80% mentality. Skill sharpens the blade, but mentality swings it. If the belief system is arguing with the assignment, the sharpest tool feels heavy. The mind is the governor of momentum. When your thinking agrees with your mandate, the same load stops fighting you and starts flowing through you. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Not just in his head, his heart. In Hebrew, the heart leb is the control center, the subconscious operating system. Your heart is your internal thermostat. It sets the climate for your life and forces your behavior to match its setting. You will never outperform your heart's permissions. That is why some of you feel double heavy. Your assignment is pulling forward while your heart is pulling back. Write this down. The burden multiplies when your belief system debates your destiny. Let me name the quitting narratives, because lies gain power when they stay vague. I'm alone. That belief adds 50 pounds to your calendar. I'm trapped. That one locks every door you haven't even tried to open. I can't disappoint people. Now you have made other people's moods your master. God is angry. That lie turns every correction into condemnation and makes you hide the very gift he gave you to use. Hear me. These are not feelings. These are philosophies. They are illegal governments sitting on the throne of your heart. Write it down. The enemy's favorite weapon is not temptation. It is definition. If he edits your beliefs, he owns your behavior. Look at the lion. He is not the fastest, not the tallest, not the strongest. The elephant is heavier. The cheetah is faster. The giraffe is taller. Yet the lion is king. Why? Attitude. When the lion sees the elephant, his eyes say that's an elephant, but his belief says that's lunch. The elephant sees the lion, and his eyes say that's a lion, but his belief says run. The lion's attitude crowns him before he fights. Quitting begins when you lose your inner government, when your attitude abdicates the throne and hands power to anxiety. Say it with me. I govern me. My belief leads my behavior. So how do we change the burden? Change the belief system. Talk to yourself on purpose, because your mind will not naturally serve your assignment. It will serve survival unless you program dominion. Repeat out loud. I am not alone. I am sent. I am not trapped. I have options. I am not owned by people's approval. I am governed by purpose. God is not angry. He is invested in my assignment. Again, my heart agrees with my mandate. What did I say? Your declarations are not hype. They are authorizations. You are reissuing permits to your own soul. Guard your heart, for out of it flow the issues, the boundaries of life. Audit your inner statements. Replace pity with policy. Instead of, I can't disappoint them, decree, I will disappoint opinions to obey vision. People recover from disappointment. Destinies don't recover from betrayal. Instead of, I'm stuck, say, there is always another strategy. Instead of, God is mad, anchor in this. This is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Affirmation before performance. Acceptance is the oxygen of assignment. Write this down. The burden gets lighter when your belief system stops arguing with your assignment. Align the thermostat with your calling. When your heart says yes, your hands stop shaking. The path doesn't shrink, but the giant does. Agreement inside produces acceleration outside. Say it with me. My belief agrees with my assignment, and my burden becomes a harness, not a prison. Write this down. Clarity of destination is the fastest medicine for leadership exhaustion. Fatigue multiplies where the future is fuzzy. Sight gives strength. When you can name where you are going, your feet stop arguing. Say it with me. Destination restores determination. What did I say? This is not mystical. This is management of vision. Habakkuk said, write the vision and make it plain, not poetic plain. Plain language creates powerful decisions. Let's do a vision audit right now. Answer these in one sentence each. What exactly are you called to build? Not something great. Name it. A school that produces ethical innovators. A network that equips single mothers into entrepreneurs. A church that forms disciple makers who plant communities. Write this down. If it's not nameable, it's not leadable. Next, what problem are you assigned to solve? Confusion, illiteracy, fatherlessness, waste, injustice in hiring. Define the enemy. Leaders need a clear adversary. Next, what fruit will prove you did it? Graduates placed, families restored, inventions patented, neighborhoods transformed, leaders reproduced. Finally, what will you leave behind? Systems that outlive you, values codified, people who can continue without your presence. Legacy is not a memory. It is machinery that keeps moving when you are absent. Vision governs decisions. If you don't know what you are pursuing, everything becomes a distraction and every demand feels legitimate. Needs will impersonate calls. Emergencies will masquerade as destiny. Write this down. Vision decides your yes and predetermines your no. Without destination, the phone becomes your pastor, email becomes your prophet, and the latest crisis becomes your compass. But when the destination is plain, you run past applause and offense with equal indifference because neither can feed the finish line. Crowd pressure will always compete with assignment focus. Crowds want services. Assignment demands outcomes. Crowds ask for events. Vision builds environments. Crowds cheer moments. Assignment measures movement. Jesus multiplied bread but refused to set up a bakery. He said, I must go to the other towns also, for this is why I came. Write this down. The why decides the where and edits the who. Do not allow a cheering section to rewrite your itinerary. Leaders are not entertainers. Leaders are escorts to a destination. Success is faithfulness to purpose, not attendance, applause, or speed. Paul did not say, I filled arenas. He said, I finished my course. Heaven's commendation is, well done, good and faithful servant, not well known, fast and famous celebrity. Slow obedience to purpose is superior to fast disobedience with numbers. Write this down. Fruit is measured against assignment, not against other leaders. Here is your transition. Once vision is clear, you can say no without guilt because you are protecting purpose, not preference. Say it with me. My no is holy. It guards my why. What did I say? When destination is defined, boundaries are not rudeness. They are rails. Delegation is not laziness. It is loyalty to the outcome. Disappointment from people is a lighter price than divorce from purpose. So we clarify the assignment, and then we cut the drains. We align the weak to the why. We disappoint strategically, and we fund only what moves the mission. Clarity gives you courage. Courage gives you capacity. Capacity gives you stamina. And the weight you once hated becomes the harness that pulls you into the future you can finally see. Write this down. Your assignment will keep costing you until you stop funding dysfunction with your energy. Some of you are not under attack. You are underwriting chaos. You are paying the invoice of problems you did not create and that God did not ask you to solve. Say it with me. I stopped funding dysfunction. What did I say? Here are the drains. Perpetual crises, same fires, different week, because you reward drama with your presence. Lazy systems, no checklists, no standards, no feedback loops. So excellence depends on your mood. Unteachable people, chronic receivers of instruction who refuse to convert it to implementation, yet still enjoy access. Emergency culture, everything is ASAP, so nothing is strategic. Alarms replace agendas, sirens replace standards. Write this down. Urgency without clarity is addiction to adrenaline. Now, how do you cut the drains? Delegate by function. Return to the engine. Who is the leader? No one and everyone. Assign responsibility to the right part. Then give that part authority equal to its responsibility. Decision rights must match design. The piston cannot wait for the crankshaft's permission to fire. The spark plug cannot ask the tailpipe for approval. Map the work to the gift. If you keep handing communications to the introvert and analysis to the extrovert, you are manufacturing emergencies. Write this down. Empower by design, not by convenience. Define outcomes, set standards, install reporting, and then step back. Inspection is love. Interference is not. You are not the engine, you are the ecosystem architect. Leadership requires courage to disappoint. Hear me, if you cannot disappoint people, you will betray purpose. You cannot please the crowd and complete the assignment at the same time. Jesus left revival to arrive at purpose. He disappointed needs to obey. Why? Say it with me. My no is holy. It guards my why. What did I say? Your calendar is a spiritual document. Every yes is an offering. Stop offering your strength to what will not produce fruit. Here is your toleration shutdown plan. 3, 2, 1. 3 non-negotiables you will enforce starting today. Start on time, end on time, prepare in advance. Meetings begin at the stated hour with or without the late. Agendas are sent 24 hours ahead. No agenda, no meeting. Deliverables conclude with owners and dates. No name, no task. 2 boundaries you will install this week. Define office hours for access and designate a no meeting block for deep work. Access is scheduled. Emergencies are filtered through one point, not your soul. One system change you will implement now. Pick the biggest recurring mess and institutionalize its fix. Create a standard operating procedure for onboarding. Install a weekly dashboard with 3 metrics that predict movement, not just report history. Activate a ticketing or request system so that needs are captured, prioritized, and triaged. No more hallway hijacks. Write this down. Once a problem repeats twice, it is no longer a surprise. It is a system you refuse to build. This is not cruelty. This is stewardship. Protecting your energy is obedience because your strength is part of your assignment. God gave you breath to carry a mandate, not to ventilate everyone else's emergencies. When you cut the drains, you don't love people less. You lead them better. You teach them to grow without nursing on your endurance. Say it with me. I am a steward of my strength. I fund only what moves the mission. The moment you align authority with function and courage with boundaries, the leak stops, stamina returns, and the engine starts to sing again. Write this down. You don't overcome quitting by escaping. You overcome quitting by redeploying into purpose. Survival is not the goal. Recovery is not the destination. We did not fix the leaks to admire the garage. We repaired the engine to re-enter the highway. Say it with me. I am back on assignment. What did I say? You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Assignments are not museum pieces. They are missions in motion. Fruit is your recommissioning letter. Leaders don't beg for followers. Followers are attracted to fruit. Bees don't attend flower conferences. They find nectar. Write this down. Value is magnetic. When you deploy your gift, support appears from places your anxiety never knew existed. Stop advertising need. Start producing value. Favor follows function. When the tree bears, the birds relocate without an invitation because ecosystems reorganize around supply. Say it with me. My fruit will do the marketing. Address the isolation lie. God never designed the assignment to run on a solo engine. Even Jesus chose 12, sent 70, and built teams by function, not flattery. Write this down. Build around gifts, not around loyalty. Loyalty without gifting breeds dependency. Gifting without covenant breeds ambition. But gift aligned with shared values produces community. Who is the leader in the engine? No one and everyone. Appoint the parts by design. Place the strategist in design. The finisher on delivery. The shepherd over people. the prophet over standards, the administrator over systems. Give authority equal to responsibility and make outcomes plain. Do not gather cheerleaders to your pain. Gather executors to your purpose. Rhythm is your armor. Leaders leak when rhythms break. Protect thinking time. Leadership is thought before it is thrust. Schedule solitude for design. Protect prayer that produces strategy. Access as they minister to the Lord. The Spirit said, separate unto me. Prayer is not escape, it's instruction. Pray until plans speak. Then protect rest that restores purpose, not rest that anesthetizes pain. Sleep is not sloth. Sabbath is not surrender. They are calibration so you can hit the target clean. Write this down. I rest to reload, not to retreat. Build weekly blocks. Study, strategy, stewardship. Your calendar must preach your calling every 7 days. Now lift your head. The repairs are done. The engine is humming. The destination is plain. It's time to roll. Redeploy your gift into the center of your week. Put your highest value work at your highest energy hours. Publish the fruit reports, prototypes, testimonies. Transform people so the right partners can recognize where to join you. Stop hiding your progress. Let evidence prophesy. We are about to put language in your mouth, because words frame belief and belief frames behavior. Your heart must hear your assignment from your own voice. Write this down. Decree precedes dominion. In a moment we will speak and your spirit will sign the recommission, but first decide no more escape routes. Say it with me. I am redeployed. Fruit is my proof. Community is my method. Rhythm is my shield. Purpose is my pace. Now get your mouth ready. The next word you speak will reissue your license to lead. Open your mouth. Your future must hear your voice. Say with me. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. The world needs what is in me. Louder, my life is not a hallway. It is a highway. My gift is my lane. My fruit is my proof. Again, my burden is not a sentence. It is a signal of value. I do not quit. I redeploy. Write this down. Decree precedes dominion. Let's seal the pathway. Say it with me. Identity before activity. I am image and assignment. Vision over confusion. I run to a destination. Toleration ends now. Whatever I tolerate, I will never change. Cut the drains. I stop funding dysfunction with my energy. Deploy the gift. My job is what they pay me to do. My work is what I was born to do. Mindset governs momentum. My belief agrees with my mandate. Boundaries protect purpose. My no is holy. It guards my why. What did I say? Identity, vision, and toleration. Cut drains, deploy, renew mind, guard boundaries. This is my resilience framework. Now, the 8-hour challenge. In the next 48 hours, complete 4 actions. 1, write the assignment in 1 sentence, plain, not poetic. If it's not nameable, it's not leadable. 2, identify 1 toleration to end terminated by policy, not apology. 3, delegate 1 function to the right gift authority equal to responsibility. 4, schedule 1 vision hour, protected thinking time where plans speak. Put it on the calendar before we dismiss. Say it with me. 48-hour sentence. Stop, delegate, design. Hear me. God does not call you to crush you. He calls you to reveal you. Pressure is not permission to quit. Pressure is proof that purpose is pressing through you. The weight is not your enemy. It is evidence. Write this down. The weight is proof you're carrying something valuable. And the value is evidence of purpose. If there was nothing in you, there would be nothing on you. You are not being buried. You are being planted. Say this out loud. I refuse to negotiate with quitting. I refuse to baptize dysfunction with kindness. I refuse to be employed at the expense of my deployment. My heart agrees with my mandate. My calendar preaches my calling. My team is built by design. My results will testify. I am sent, I am set, I am steady. Now stretch your hands toward your own future and speak. I recommission myself. I accept my assignment. I end toleration. I cut the drains. I clarify the vision. I deploy my gift. I guard my boundaries. I produce fruit. The world needs what is in me, and I will not die with it inside me. Say it again. My design is intact. My future is obedient. My pace is purpose. go now, execute your 48 hours, and let your fruit announce that quitting has been canceled.